Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Spicy Sunflower Tarot and welcome to your July monthly reading. This is going to be just a general overview for the month of July for the sign of Virgo. I'm going to start off with this Mystic Manifesting Oracle card deck. And let's just jump in and grab an overall energy oracle vibe here. So for the sign of Virgo, we have Seeing the Beauty. Complex patterns align to create great beauty when you see clearly. Your affirmation for the month of July could be, I visualize the divine plan. That is really good. Virgo can be your sun, your moon, your rising, maybe your Venus sign. If you know your chart, your birth chart, it's always good to know your birth chart. Just you need your time of birth. You can even go in and find a site like Astro Cafe that you can just plug in even just a guesstimate of when you think you might have been born, and find out your major placements where all the planets were the moment that you were born. And that has an influence on your personality traits and your who you are internally. So anyway, Virgo, let's jump into a Celtic cross spread. Very traditional and a wonderful general overview for the month of July for us. So let's just jump in and find out a little bit more about how July might turn out. And this is always just not for everybody. It might not fit. Don't make it fit, but just use this as, I would just even say, like a skeleton that you could frame the month around. And if it didn't work, if it didn't fit, if it didn't apply, it's not your reading. So I'm going to do the Celtic cross spread. I'm going to start off with the recent past, and I'm just going to lay these cards down, and then you can determine how they fit once we circle back to talk. So tune into your intuition, tune into your higher self, your higher mind, what's on your real, true heart and soul. Okay. This is your final outcome. All right, at the bottom of the deck, Virgo, is the Tower. This is a major arcana, and this is a Mars energy. It is attributed to the signs of Scorpio and to the signs of Aries. And it is Mars energy, it's shocking energy, it's revelatory energy. It is something that happens in the month of July, possibly, or leading up to the month of July that you weren't expecting. It wasn't something you planned. It was something that happened, and you had to then very quickly figure out what you were going to do. You know, the Tower is a strong structure that we believe in and we count on, and we think it's going to always be there, like a relationship or a job or something along those lines. Turns out, you know, it was based on sand, it was built on rubble, and it's going to crumble. And so you have to be really careful what you put your faith and your hope and your stock in, because not everything that we put all of our foundational beliefs in is going to last forever. So we have to be really careful, and we also have to be adaptable and resilient and able to pull ourselves back together when something shocking happens. Lightning strikes. It generally also indicates, there's usually a depiction of lightning in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck, and that just indicates like a bolt of knowing and intuition. Your mind is sharpened. You received truth, and with that truth comes the foundational crumbling. So Tower at the bottom of the deck here for you, Virgo. And we'll jump right into the beginning, is the recent past. And the recent past has the Three of Swords, another kind of a painful energy. This is mentally painful. This is not necessarily current heartbreak, because this is in the recent past. It has to do with something that happened in your past that broke your heart. And it's not necessarily even like emotional heartbreak as much as it is we remember the pain. It's mental, it's swords. It has to do with your cerebral mind. So it's you, what feels like as you're leaving the month of June behind, you're remembering heartbreak and you're remembering pain and you're remembering when somebody, stabbed you in your heart and it hurt really bad and it made you, and it's not literal, it can be very figurative, but it felt like, oh my God, you're never going to get over that. It hurt. It was third party energy. It could have been somebody, you were going along thinking that everything was hunky dory between you and another person. Turns out there was a third party energy always looming in the wait, and that is heartbreaking if you are, in a what you think is a two-party relationship. So Three of Swords, you're remembering pain. It's your recent past. And your current energy is Ace of Cups. So this is emotional, opening up to something new. This is you allowing yourself to actually feel love again for the first time in a long time, maybe. Actually allowing yourself to be loved, to give love or receive love, however it is working. This can also be self-love because it's an ace. It's the number one. That can just mean I love myself. And that is usually where the greatest relationships begin anyway, is when we love ourselves. So Ace of Cups, Ace of Vases can be really beautiful in every light. It's an emotional opening to yourself or to another, or you giving your love to someone else. You're extending your cup to them. This is your current energy. Now, your challenge for the month of July is the Eight of Coins. This has to do with work. This has to do with you're the master of your craft. You are the subject matter expert in your field. And do you see how it's so interesting? This energy challenges the emotional energy. This is your energy. It's Eight of Coins. It's very much about work, your physical reality, and your work or your profession or your job or your career is challenging your ability to be in this new love. So this new love it's exciting and it's fresh and it's new. And the challenge is, but work is calling. Work is demanding. Work needs you. You need to be at work. And that takes away from your ability to be all about this new love. So that makes a lot of sense. There is this work, physical reality challenging your emotional heart space. What is on your mind is the King of Swords. This is a master communicator. The King of Swords is like an attorney. It's like a counselor. It's an accountant. It's a tax attorney. It's somebody that deals with facts and figures and quantifications and qualifications. And it's somebody that is really not in their feelings at all. They are all about this sword of truth. They're all about like I said, strategies. It's like a general of an army. It's a commander of a team. It's somebody that is a leader. They're a master communicator, and they are facts over feelings. This is on your mind. On your mind is you, Virgo, determining that I'm going to take charge of the situation at hand. Maybe it is my heart and maybe it is my workplace, but I'm going to get in there and I'm going to dictate how things go verbally or in writing. I'm going to say, like, this is where things need to go and this is how things need to go. You are communicating that to people, and this is on your mind, is your communication ability and style. under the surface, what you might not be showing everybody, it's the 10 of Wands. And this is the end of a burdensome, painful cycle energetically. So you may have been somebody all along the way who has been able to say, I can take care of that for you. If you need that done, let me know. I'm an expert in writing up, certain documents, and I can do that for you. You've always been someone that bore the burdens of others, but under the surface, you are finally coming to a place in your life where you are going to say no. It's over. This burdensome cycle has reached its culmination. It's done. You need to finally be able to start to say in your physical reality, not just under the surface in your, in those still small, quiet moments of your life where you're like, I got to start saying no to people. You're starting to bring that into your physical reality, I think. It's not just going to stay buried for long. It's going to have to come out. So just know that if you've been contemplating how you're going to communicate to whoever you've been helping out in your life, you're going to have to start saying, I'm sorry, but I'm no longer available to do that for you. No. You know how they talk about no as a complete sentence? I think you're going to get really familiar with that, Virgo. As you move into the future, the 8 of Vases, which is the 8 of Cups. Now, Capricorn had this as well, and it is all about an emotional completion, an emotional heart space, you saying, I'm walking away from what no longer serves me. I'm going to leave, basically, I'm going to leave the past in the past, and I'm going to walk towards my future because I still have some cups that can be full of good things. Not everything in my cups has to be something negative from my past. If it is, I'm going to walk away from it and I'm going to just look towards the future and think about what can I put in my cups as I move forward. 8 of Cups, 8 of Vases. That's your future focused energy. Your external energy is the Sun. Now, Capricorn also had this in their reading, and it is interesting because this is external to you. This is someone outside of you, your person. It can be a person, place, or thing. They are light, and I want to even say divine. They bring a source of positivity and optimism to your life that you maybe ordinarily wouldn't have ever been in touch with. But this person, they add to your life, and everything about them it's out in the open. It's on the table. It's up for discussion. They are not hiding anything from you. Everything about them is it's in your face, and not in a bad way. It's there. So you don't have to guess or wonder or think about it. And I think that's refreshing for you because it looks like you have come from pain, that mental remembering of pain. I think you've experienced it. And this person, this situation, it's very new for you. It feels really like yes energy. It's very yes. I want that. I want to be a part of it. I want that in my life. Absolutely. Your internal energy, how you are feeling on the inside, we're bringing it back to the earth energy. It's 6 of coins, 6 of pentacles. It is about reciprocity. And inside, you are really feeling like, I'm all about this. Whatever is going on with this new love and this person that brings so much joy and happiness to your life, and you knowing that you need to speak your mind and speak your truth and stop letting people take advantage of you and put burdens all over you, you are beginning to realize that I'm going to need to say how I want to be reciprocated. I'm going to give because that's my nature. I'm an earth sign. I'm a giver. I'm an earth-based energy, but I also need to receive. So if I'm going to give 3 pentacles, I need you to give 3 pentacles back or more, and vice versa. It's not always 50-50, but I'm going to need to feel that there is equal give and take somehow, some way at the end of the day. We're not keeping score. We're not trying to keep track of each other's givings and takings, but we are definitely needing to make sure that it's not just me giving, because you've reached the end of that painful giving, painful cycle, that 10 of Wands. Now, your hopes and your fears. The Princess of Coins. So it's back to more earth energy, but this is more along the lines of an opportunity being available to you. So your hope is that there will be like a new job offer somewhere for you, or there will be some sort of new opportunity, or you and this person that you might be getting together with have the opportunity to like put a down payment on a new house, or you want to make plans to move to another state entirely together. You are hoping and praying that that is the way it goes, but you're also fearing that. You're fearing like a new beginning in your physical reality, something that will change the way that you go about your health routine, something that will change the way you go about spending, something to do with your finances. You are afraid of something new taking place in your job or your career, your profession. You know, you hope for it because that's exciting to think that new opportunities come our way, but it's also, we're afraid. What does that mean? If I say yes to this, what will that mean from me? What will I have to give up or give to, or whatever? This is a little bit of a duality energy, because it's something that could be good, but also something bad. So we got to be really careful what we're open to in our physical reality. Anything to do with your time, money, health, wealth, your effort, all of that. The final outcome is interesting. It's a major arcana. This is the Hanged Man. It's called the Hanged in this deck. It's attributed to the sign of Pisces. It generally is pictured a person hanging upside down by 1 foot from a tree limb, and it's a hanged person, and they usually have this like lit up crown chakra area where they've received illumination. They've experienced like an epiphany, some sort of a mind altering change of perspective. And that's generally what the Hanged Man's all about. Now, this is your final outcome. So what that says is that in the month of July, there will be something that will happen that will cause you to need to take a time out so that you can bring yourself to a higher consciousness and think about things from a higher perspective, basically from like a heavenly perspective of not just looking at it with like your physical human eyes, but looking at it from a spiritual perspective, being able to see things in a different view than maybe you've ever seen them, whether that's when you're connecting with this person that you're dealing with, or that this love offer's going towards, or it's your workplace or something. But there will be a reason for you to have to take a time out and put yourself in a position where you can see things from all angles or a different angle than the way you've ever processed information before. The Hanged Man, final outcome for the sign of Virgo. Let's do a little last layer for you. This is the Witch's Tarot, and we're just going to do one last little small layer here of energy. Let's see if we can find either corroboration of the story or a different aspect for the sign of Virgo. The High Priest, the Six of Pentacles, we have that there, and the Lovers. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense, because the High Priest is essentially the Hierophant, It's card number 5 in the major arcana. It's attributed to your earth cousin, the sign of Taurus. It generally means commitment. It's like a spiritual teacher. It is a priest, a pastor. It a lot of times indicates marriage. So if you've got marriage on the table somewhere in your life, the high priest is showing up, and that's like it's a commitment. This person that you're with, whether you're gonna marry them or not, there is a commitment on the table, and it indicates, yeah, there's definitely a soulmate that you are working with, but there is a very clear, it's showing up twice in your reading, this reciprocity, this energy of I need equal give and take. I don't care if 6 days a week I give 60% and they only give 40. On, one day a week, I'm going to need them to really show up and just give a lot, because I feel like I give so much all the time to this relationship to make this work that I'm going to need to see it back next week. They need to give 60% of their efforts so that they can show me that physically they're invested as much as I am. I'm not going to be the only person putting all my cards on the table. I need to see that they're doing that as well. And like I said, we're not keeping score. We're not taking inventory of who does what. But I know, Virgo, that you're paying attention to effort. I know you're paying attention to what somebody invests in you. And you're going to make sure that it's not just you, the only one doing that. That's your layer of confirmation here. Virgo, this is Spicy Sunflower Tarot. I can be found on TikTok and on YouTube. And your likes and your follows, your subscribes and your shares, your comments are very appreciated. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Be well.